Hi guys! Welcome to my video. My name is Heidi Jepson, and this is the start of a series of videos that I'm going to be doing every single week. This is something that I've wanted to do for a while now, and I'm finally getting started. So I'm really excited. Let me tell you what this video blog is going to be about. Really, it's going to be surrounding issues that plague our world today, specifically in the United States. That's the only place I'm really aware of, right, because I live here. Body image, food addiction, emotional eating. Those are the things that I want to talk about during this video blog. And the reason why I want to talk about those things is because it's something that I really suffer with, and I have for a really long time. In fact, I actually cannot remember a time when I didn't have a problem with this. Although I remember when it really got bad, and that was about when I was 12 years old. So it's been a super long time, because I'm 27 now. So this is something that I really want to talk about. It's extremely important to me because I want to be done with it. I don't want to have this problem anymore. But I realize that this is a process and that these weaknesses that I have can become strengths to me, but I need to take the steps to overcome them. And I know that there's going to be certain tools and things that I use, which I'm already using and I want to tell you about, that are going to help me overcome. And so I wanted to start with this video. And in this video I want to tell you a little story. And this is a story that happens to me almost on a daily basis. And it's a story that I really call the trilogy. Now this trilogy isn't necessarily a positive trilogy. It is the trilogy of number one, the slow moment is the first part of the trilogy. The second part of the trilogy is the justification. And the third part of the trilogy is the shame. Yeah, so let me tell you the story, okay? So I work at a spa. I'm a massage therapist. I love my job. I get to go in the morning. I feel so good when I wake up in the morning. I wake up, it's a clean slate. Although initially I don't really want to wake up. I wake up, it's a clean slate, and I feel like I can do anything, right? So I usually eat a great breakfast. I eat my great breakfast and then I go into work. I get to open the spa, so I'm there early. It's about 7:30. And I get to turn on all of this stuff, so I have this great busy work going on. I'm turning on the beds, the bed warmers, I get to start up the till, I get to do all the great things in the morning, and I'm just feeling so productive during the morning. And then the other therapists get there, and either I massage or I help the other therapists with their clients, and they start massaging, or I start massaging. Now, this story that I'm telling you starts when I have a slow moment, right? Because that's number one in our trilogy. The slow moment comes when I don't have any busy work or anything that really takes my mind away from my thoughts. So the slow moment that happened the other day was after the therapists were in. I didn't have a massage that day in the morning. The other therapists were massaging and I was at the desk by myself just listening to music. I didn't have any more busy work. So I got this slow moment. And all of a sudden, before I knew it, my energy had been so high and I'd been feeling so great. And then my energy dropped and I was not feeling so great. And I just thought, man, my mind, my heart is such a roller coaster, because all of a sudden I just feel this lack of energy and I'm just like not really feeling that great about myself. And I was like, why is this happening? And I realized in that moment that I've been having these really negative thoughts. When I was busy, I didn't really have to think, and the negative thoughts about myself, they were probably coming, but I wasn't recognizing them because I was busy. In the slow moment, I have the time to recognize those negative thoughts, and I was recognizing them real good. So my energy was really low, and I wasn't feeling good. So because my energy was low, I started thinking, oh, I don't feel good. So when I get home, I'm just gonna take a nap. I'm gonna eat whatever I want, and I'm gonna take a nap. I'm just gonna sleep. I'm gonna go to the grocery store. I'm gonna get this stuff that I know is not good for me, but because I work hard, I should be able to get this, right? Or it snowed for the first time today, it's really cold out, I deserve this. Or it's someone's birthday, or whatever it is. These little justifications started coming in. So now you're seeing part two of this trilogy, right? The justification. And let me just put in here, I say trilogy because a trilogy in Greece is technically a series of 3 tragedies. So tragedy 2, or act 2, would be this justification stage. And that is that I am like justifying these actions, which I know are not actions that are going to make me feel good, and I'm justifying them beforehand so that I can have permission during the actual act itself later in the evening to do these things that I know that I promised myself earlier I would not do. So this justification part kind of helps me feel a little better in the moment. I start to feel this like relief. Like I've justified this, and in the future I'm gonna have permission to do whatever the heck I wanna do because it's gonna make me feel better, is what I'm thinking. Because I'm having all these thoughts thrown at me. So it's funny because I'm justifying these actions and almost feeling the feeling of what it feels like to emotionally eat before I'm even doing it, because I'm justifying it and I'm thinking about it before I do it. So then my energy is so low, but then the other clients are done, right, with their massages from the other therapists, and then maybe I have a client and my energy starts to go back up. So sometimes I'll get that energy back and be like, no, I don't want to do that. I just want to be good. I want to be busy. I want to do all these things and keep my goals. So that's a great moment, but it usually tends to come back down again at some point because I'm gonna have a moment where I can think about my thoughts and all these bad thoughts that are coming into my head. Like how I'm a bad wife, or how I'm fat, or how I'm ugly, or how people don't like me. All these things are coming into my mind, and to shut them up, I want to eat, or think about eating, or think how I'm gonna give myself permission in the future to eat. And so that's what I'm doing. And it really is almost, like I said, a freeing moment, that justification. So what happens is I leave work. I usually leave in the later afternoon my work, and then I stop at the grocery store or wherever it is that I am going to get this food that is the forbidden food, or this food that really triggers me to be unaware of my surroundings or eat emotionally. And I pick the food up and I bring it home, and the only problem is that I don't live alone. So I have this wonderful husband who knows these goals that I have set, who knows my heart and the things that I've wanted to do, and he's here at home. And when I bring the food home, I know that although he's not going to say it out loud because he's so wonderful and he doesn't want to talk down to me, but I know that he's going to know that I'm breaking my promise to myself. So now not only do I know I broke my promise to myself, but my husband knows as well. So I'm feeling a little bit of shame even before I start eating the food. And then I eat the food. So initially the food starts, it's feeling really good. I mean, I love food. I just start eating this food and I feel so much better. I'm so glad I did this. I'm so glad I went and bought this food. And then my belly gets full and the food no longer looks good. And then I feel shame. I feel a lot of shame. It doesn't feel good. And so that's shame on top of shame. So thus, our trilogy, our tragedies come to pass, and they finish with the shame, because the shame continues on, really. And then really from that point, it's like it tends to be with me that justification gives me the next day another reason for justification, because I think, well, I did it the day before. So I don't like this. I don't want it. And if any of you have experienced this, then you probably do not want this either. And I don't want it for you. And that's why I'm making these videos. So how can we fix this? How can I fix this? How can you fix this? Let me tell you my experience. Let me tell you what I have done in the last little while to change what's going on in my mind, so that all those thoughts, that I'm not afraid of this time, this downtime, this slow time, because it's going to happen and I want it to happen. I want to have slow time. I don't want to have to distract myself with food or Facebook or Instagram or anything on the internet that would distract me, including Netflix or Hulu, right? I don't want those things. I want to be able to feel peaceful, and they can come and I can use those things in the appropriate time, but not to distract myself from these horrible thoughts. So I want to change the thoughts. And what I have done in the last few weeks, and what I learned more than 6 months ago, but really have been implementing recently, is that I can write down those bad thoughts. It's okay to write them down. And so this week what I'm going to do is to write down the numbers 1 through 10 on a piece of paper or a notebook. And then I'm going to write down the 10 thoughts that come to me as I'm thinking. What are the negative thoughts that I think? I'm going to write down 10 negative thoughts. 1 through 10, write those negative thoughts and write them completely. Just write them out. Write them in detail if they come in detail. And then I'm going to have another page and I'm going to write 1 through 10 on this other page as well. And then on this other page, I'm going to look first at the page with the 10 negative thoughts. And I'm going to switch them to be exactly the opposite of what they are. I have an ugly and fat body. New page. My body is gorgeous and strong. Exact opposite, right? And thin. So, that's what I'm going to do with all of these negative thoughts. These negative thoughts are real. They're real to you. That doesn't mean they're the truth. You get to change what you are. But the action has to come through thoughts first. So I want you to take all of these 10 and write out new ones. The exact opposite of each one you're going to write. So number 1 is going to turn into number 1, the exact opposite of that. 1 through 10. And then you're going to take the ones that are so negative and bad and you are going to crumble them up, rip them up, flush them down the toilet, burn them. Whatever way helps you to get rid of those so that what you have is that new list. And that new list is reality to you. And then you say them out loud. You will say that new list out loud, and that is what you will become. And that is what has changed me. And recently, the one that I have been doing is saying I am gorgeous over and over. I am gorgeous. I am gorgeous. And when you say those 10 positive things throughout the day, you will change. Your feeling will change. You will feel like you can breathe better, and you'll be less scared of those slow moments. You'll be more aware of yourself. I challenge you to do that this week. I'm going to be posting once a week, so in a week I will post about what happened with these 10 principles that I've written down and then changed my way of thinking. So I'm going to talk about those 10 principles and what changed within me throughout the week and how I felt different. And I would love for you guys to join me in this thing. If any of you, when listening to this, felt within you, maybe that could help me. I would really like to feel better. I would really like to be freed from food addiction, from emotional eating, from a bad view of my own body. Then join me. I would love to hear from you guys. If you want to leave a comment, if you'd like to send me a message, either way, thank you for joining me, and I'm going to post again next week. I'll be posting every Wednesday. You'll see a new video come up, and that is where I will talk about the thing that I decided I was going to do that week and how it went, my ups and downs, and just a little video update. So, like I said, message me, leave a comment if you guys would like me to hear anything that you have to say, your successes, anything that you're struggling with. Thank you guys for watching my video.